Hi there, Jennifer Bleam, Cybersecurity Sherpa. I help IT companies and MSPs learn how to sell cybersecurity effectively and, most importantly, profitably. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. And today we are going to be talking about the magic of the three simple steps to launch a webinar. Now, listen, that is one of the things that MSPs tell me all the time is that they have this goal. They've always wanted to host a webinar, but it feels a bit overwhelming, a little bit scary. There are a lot of moving pieces. And believe me, I totally understand. It's so interesting because at this point, I have literally done hundreds of webinars. At some point, I will count up how many I've done, but yet my memory still goes back to the time that I did an insane number of webinars in a single quarter. You see, I thought that we were brainstorming ideas on how to meet our Q4 goals. Thought we were brainstorming, right? We're going to write things on the whiteboard. We're going to perfect them. We're going to erase some things. And I threw out what I thought was an idea. We should try to do 12 webinars in 12 weeks. And my boss said, great idea, make it happen. And I went, wait a second, I thought we were brainstorming. He said, we don't need to perfect that at all. That's perfect, make it happen. So you want to talk about details and craziness and creating all of the different pieces and the marketing and oh my word, 12 webinars in 12 weeks is insane. And Q4, of course, has holidays in it. And so all of a sudden we lost 2.5 weeks of Q4. And so we had to do 12 webinars in about 9.5 weeks. Absolutely insane. I do not recommend that, but I do recommend that you tackle webinars. Webinars are a phenomenal way to get in front of a group of prospects. It is a one-to-many strategy. So there is significant leverage in webinars. So 3 simple steps to help you get your webinar hosted and maybe a bonus tip at the very end. So tip number 1, what I need you to do is create a very sizzly topic. Make sure it is a topic that not just is something that you are passionate about, but something that your end users, your clients, your prospects care about, which means it may need to be more simple than how you normally think. It needs to be actionable. It needs to seem easy on the surface. So perhaps it is something almost like a checklist style where it's 5 things they can do to stop ransomware, or 4 ways to secure their work from home workers, or 6 things every business needs to do now that hybrid workforce is here and appears to be here to stay. And so that is something that is very interesting to them. It feels approachable and not over their head at all. And that is how you create a sexy, sizzly topic. Now, another good way to make sure that your topic is indeed appealing to your target market is to ask a few of them. If you have a Facebook group, or you have a handful of prospects that you're working with, or even clients that you're particularly close to, you can ask them if that topic is appealing to them. Hey, I'm considering doing an event on this topic. What would you hope I would cover? Or does that not even appeal to you? That can be an email, but it can just as likely be a quick phone call to 5 or 10 of your closest clients or prospects. So that is tip number 1. Make sure that your topic is extremely interesting and sizzly, not to you, but to the end user, to the audience. All right, step number 2. This is the part I hate the most, just pure transparency. It is the creation of the deck. And there's some reasons that I hate it personally. And then there are also some reasons that I hate it for the channel and for the partners that I work with. The reason I hate it for me personally is I am not a graphic designer. I'm not good at graphic design. I can recognize good graphic design, but I'm not good at it myself. So if that is you, then I want you to lean on tools like Canva that has ready-made PowerPoint presentations already baked in, or perhaps you need to find someone on Fiverr to lean on them to create the deck for you. There are a lot of other ideas out there that you can purchase templates. They're not usually particularly expensive. And so if you find yourself at the point that you're excited about the webinar, but you're dreading the deck, offload the deck to someone who enjoys that. Why do something that you don't enjoy? Now, the second reason that I dread talking about decks, especially for MSPs, is that when you are standing in front of a group for a seminar, or you're standing in front of a camera for a webinar, and you have a deck with a lot of words on the slide, the tendency is to read the slide. And nobody wants to listen to you read a slide deck to them. And so when I'm encouraging you to create a deck, follow some best practices for deck creation. Now that's way outside of the scope of this particular video. Maybe I will do one later on some best practices having to do with creating a deck, because there are some. But what I want you to do is to remember that no one is coming to hear you read a book to them. This is not a book report. This is you talking to them. And so the deck, what is on the slide or what is on the screen, should be supporting you. It should be adding to what you're talking about, but it shouldn't be a novel condensed into a 4-point font on a slide. So definitely pay some attention to your deck. Okay. Point number 3, this is the part that is so easy to forget when you are so excited about having your first webinar or even your second or third webinar. And point 3 is so crucial. It is the call to action. It's the whole reason that you're doing this. Now, of course, you want to add value. Of course, you want to be seen as a thought leader. Perhaps you're planning to repurpose this content later on down the road in social media, on your website, in many other places. That is all well and good. But the primary goal, the primary thing that needs to be in your mind is the call to action. What are you going to ask your watchers to do? They are watching you. They just sat through 40 minutes of great content with a deck that supported it, with a topic that they were interested in, and you want to offer them something. So it could be a risk assessment. It could be a pen test. It could be a network audit. It could be a strategy conversation. It could be you take your same 5 points from your webinar and you're going to personally walk them through all 5 steps from your checklist and tell them exactly where they stand. But whatever that call to action is, don't overlook it. And ideally, you will practice your entire webinar multiple times. But if you're up against a deadline, at least practice the transition into the call to action and the call to action itself multiple times, 3 times, 5 times, 6 times, until it feels comfortable. Because what will happen very often is the teaching part, you will get into that and you'll be super comfortable. You'll be on your A game. This is what you enjoy. You love talking about technology. You love helping your community. And then when you need to pivot into what feels like a sale, you get a little icky and you're uncomfortable and you stutter and you stammer and it's not quite as smooth, and it will impact how well that webinar converts. So that is point number 3. Don't forget about the call to action. Now, a bonus tip for you. So often people get a little stuck in the weeds because webinars are complicated. I understand I just made it into 3 steps, but believe me, it could be a 6 or 7 or 8 step process. We didn't talk about the marketing side of it. We didn't talk about the follow-up. There are a million different questions when it comes time to launching your first webinar or even a subsequent webinar. But the best thing you can do to make it happen is just get it on your schedule. Get it on your schedule and then invite 1 or 2 of your colleagues or friends or clients or family members if you need to, and get at least 1 or 2 people registered, because now guess what? You have to show up. Getting those couple of people registered for your webinar will serve as the impetus for you to get things moving forward. So it is the thing that lights your tush on fire. So use that and use those 3 tips. So number 1, make sure your topic is amazing. Number 2, don't forget about the deck. Outsource it if you need to. If it's something that you hate, you're not good at, you're agonizing over, get it off your plate. Number 3, make sure that you don't neglect the call to action. And then my bonus tip is just to get it scheduled with 1 or 2 people already registered, because now you have to show up for them. That's it. I hope you will take these 3 simple steps, schedule your first webinar, make it happen, and then come back and tell me how it went. Love hearing your success stories. That's it for now. I'll be back next week with another sales or marketing tip to help your IT company grow.